Shalom Israel. First and foremost, when I give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash, the born to the apostles, and else great millstone for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings. To the hopeful light of Israel, Shalom. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, the name is Hebrew, by Hashem means the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back in the lesson, as in the title, there is no escape. You're in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai's hand. And as you see, these devils are trying to build these, deep underground military bases, or short for DUMBs, trying to flee and hide away from their coming judgment. But as you know, you will not be able to escape. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai has covered all routes of escape, and there is no running. You know, if they try to flee into the sea, the Lord's going to sick Leviathan after them. You know, the Lord has his ground troops, which can be his elect. The Lord's air force, which are the the angels that are in those vehicles, those chariots. So there is no running, man. So I'm going to place a quick video right here just to showcase what this devil has. And there's also just many other articles that go into these rich billionaires and ultimately these elites building these deep underground military bases and ultimately have them already. Now we're going to place real quick, get out the way, get a couple scripts that come to mind, man. Lord will let them be edifying.
Y'all seen this right here? These dudes in Chicago, they find an actual underground fallout shelter. It's like a whole city. It's got a bank. It's got everything. Watch this. Blows your mind. Like, no joke.
Hey, there you go. There's a quick little example right there. But you can also get in Jeremiah 16:16 how the Lord very soon is going to turn his fishes, which are the prophets, into those hunters, man. So that you devils will not be able to run. And also, what makes you think you're going to be able to hide away from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, man? Like, come on. And y'all can see that the lights, the lights are on, which means there's power running through it. So showing you it's being put to use. If not, it's being what's we're looking for, maintenance from time to time. Look at this. It's not built, for no reason.
Y'all seen this right here? These dudes.
But, ultimately you get the main point. Now, we're going to jump to these scriptures at hand. To be a quick lesson to the spirit. I saw that video and so wanting to, dive into it since I haven't went into it in pretty much a long while. But this is Jeremiah 16:16, as I brought up a little bit earlier. Now it says, behold, I will send for many fishers. Who are those fishers? The prophets, the men of the Lord. Saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, and they shall fish them. Who are they fishing? The elect. And that bait is this truth, this knowledge, this understanding, this word. And only the elect are going to, nibble and bite at it. Just using, fishing terms. But then they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters. So very soon those fishers are going to be turned into those hunters, man. Now, as behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks which the devils are going to be trying to escape into, or to escape to, thinking they're going to be able to hide away and get away, from the judgment that's coming to them, man. Thinking it's going to be easy like that. Which you're about to see, how about Shema Shai is going to turn you, on your head, man. There's no running. That's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 3. To answer that point, that says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. This devil thinks he's going to be in power forever, that he's just going to be able to build a deep underground base, thinking that's going to be enough to help him, get away from his coming judgment. When it's written, there's no escaping it, man. Obadiah 1:3 now says, the pride of thine heart deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the cleft, it's like, one more time. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Yahweh Shema Shai is going to bring this devil down, man. And it's when you go in the scripture, I believe Isaiah 14th chapter, how, Satan fell from heaven as lightning, falling out of power at a fast rate. And that's not speaking of the spiritual demon Satan, but speaking of Esau, Edom, falling out of power. As you know, this is his heaven, his rulership, and the Lord's going to bring him down to the ground. I was going to go on to Isaiah 47:1. Come sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon. Because right now Esau, Edom is on a pedestal, But very soon Yahweh Shema Shai is going to take these devils out, man, by the way of his son, Yahweh Shai. As Isaiah 2:19, to help further that point. Now, then they shall go into the holes of the rocks. These devils want to start building these deep underground military bases, ultimately in order to try to escape this thermonuclear destruction. And try to have a little safe and secure spot when all hell's breaking loose. Isaiah 2:19, now, then they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth, for fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Because ultimately these devils know what's coming. That's why they're trying to prepare for it. But no matter how much you may prepare or get ready, you won't stand a chance. As in, for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth by the way of those missiles. And also compared to the title, you're in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's hand. There's nothing you can do. Especially when it's written, man. And as you know, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is not a liar. Everything will come to pass as it is written. As well with the Habakkuk 2:3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. We are in those appointed times, man. That vision speaking of those prophecies. Now we're going to feel more, and we'll shut out from there. Revelation 6:13 through 17. And Lord's will listen is edifying. Lord, I'm trying to point together the best of my ability. As in the stars of heaven. What are the stars of heaven speaking of? Read it from top, and we'll go back to that. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth. Just going into those thermonuclear missiles. I was mentioning Isaiah 34. Going to how the Lord's sword, or let's actually do it real quick. Don't want to butcher it. We just get that main part I was wanting. Now, verse 5, and we can get let's get verse 4 and verse 5 just to hope out to that point. Now it says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. The heavens being rolled together as a scroll, speaking of the mushroom cloud being formed from that explosion. And you can look up many examples and see different tests that the military has done, and see like a mushroom shaped form from that explosion. Now it's, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falls off from the vine, as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. That's what we're speaking of right here. So also we read earlier, the stars, falling from heaven. You see right here, the Lord's sword being bathed in heaven, going to these thermonuclear missiles. As it behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, another word for Esau, Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. As you know, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is getting ready to destroy the wicked of our people. Now let's go back up top. Let's read Revelation one more time. 13th verse, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Going to the shock waves coming from, those missiles. That's why it's going to be going to how this place be, shall shake, as a drunkard man. The last scripture is now coming to mind. Roughly paraphrasing this right here, trying to remember exactly what it was. Now it says Isaiah 24:20. As here we hear, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. When you look at a drunk person, he's stumbling. He can't stand still. And that's what's going to happen when all these thermonuclear missiles hit this place, man. Especially Babylon the Great, which is going to be that lake of fire. And the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Going to Isaiah 13, how its place shall never be inhabited again. Sorry when moving around a little bit, but always I'm trying to point to the best of my ability. Just moving through the spirit. Last scriptures are now coming to mind to help further this lesson across. Now, verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, Once when we just went into going to that mushroom cloud, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Once again, going into these explosions. And once again, why you have these devils trying to build these deep underground military bases, or short for DUMBs, in order to try to hide away from their coming judgment. But you will not be able to, because once again, Yahweh Bashim Ashai has covered all routes of escape. There is no running, man, into the sea, into space, wherever. Yahweh Bashim Ashai got something for you. Now, verse 15. And the kings of the earth, main point, and the great men and the rich men, dealing with the elites, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, every free man, hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountains. Excuse me. So you're going to have all these people try to, run away and hide. Even how many of our people, send, do they buy plane tickets to flee America? All that. We're also going to have our locations be hit by these missiles too. But, mainly Babylon the Great, aka America. But now it says, hid themselves in dens in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, which is our Lord Yahweh Shai. Now our Lord has come back to slay. He's come back angry, man. That's why it goes into how he came not to send peace on earth. He came not to send peace, but a sword. Our Lord Yahweh Shai is getting ready to slay, man. Put people to death. Especially dealing with these chariots, going to 2nd Ezra 13. You're going to have them beaming people down, man, turning people into literal dust. And a good example is that movie, starring Tom Cruise, The War of the Worlds. We pretty much see those chariots, come out from the ground and, start laser beaming people, and you see the dust, come out from their bodies, as well as their clothes floating in the wind. People getting vaporized, man. That's what's coming. Especially with these devils trying to, hide in their space stations and all that. Nothing you have is going to work, man. Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to show you true power, man. Verse 17. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? You will not be able to stand chance, as we also got in Obadiah 1 and 8. Now we're going to how proud Esau Edom is. But they're going to be brought low. Now, let's get a few more, and we'll shut up from there. Besides Amos 9:2-3. Also, another main point. Now it says, though they dig into hell. Now this is when they dig into hell. It's going into pretty much deep underground. Low. As though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Esau Edom has these space stations. They even have people in there from a certain period of time working on things, whatever the case may be. But though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And as they keep bringing up that point throughout this lesson, Yahweh Bashim Ashai covered all routes of escape. There's no running. There's no sneaking past the Lord, man. Verse 3. As and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, and dealing with these mountains, and I'll search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So Yahweh Bashim Ashai is going to sick Leviathan onto you people, man. You also may have even other creatures that we haven't even seen yet down there going after them. As you're also going to see coming in these last days, I believe going to Wisdom of Solomon, I think we're on the 7th chapter. Strange beast, newly created, rough paraphrasing. But let's see. We got 4 more. That'll be a lesson. Maybe longer than I anticipated, but it's flowing through the spirit. So Amos 5:19, that says, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went to the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. So it's going to show you're going to continue to run into problems, especially coming to these last days when all hell's going to really break loose, especially if you're not covered under the blood of Yahweh Shai, under that hedge, man. The protection of the Lord. Going to Psalm 91, how Yahweh Bashim Shai is our sanctuary, man, our safe haven. How we're going to hide in the wings, of the Almighty. There's Amos 5:19, that says it one more time. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went to the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. So just when you think you're about to catch a break, you then run into another problem. But let's see, we got Numbers 35 and 33. going to show this judgment that's coming to these devils and how they need to pay for all the terrible and wicked things that they have done and the atrocities that they have committed against our people, for touching the apple of Yahweh Shemashai's eye. Now it says, so you should not pollute the land where ye are, for blood is defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Now who shed that blood of our people? Esau, Edom. Another scripture going to how he received his kingdom, through lies, through deceit. But as was mentioned, going to that rape, rob, and murder that has been done to our people, man. And the devil's going to pay for that. Now, we got two more. That'll be a lesson as Revelations 11:18 to add to that point. And the nations were angry, and the wrath is come, and to the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give a reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great. Now, main point right here. And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Now, who's in power today? Esau, Edom, the so-called man today. Going back to Job 9:24. The world given the hand of the wicked. Going to wicked Malachi. Who's the wicked speaking of? Esau, Edom. Esau, Edom being literally named the border of wickedness, as was mentioning Genesis, the 27th chapter, the 39th and 40th verse, which was the fatness of the earth, as well as his sword that he's living by, and which Yahweh Shemashai is getting ready to use on our people. Come to Psalm 17:13. So there's a few other scriptures, but this is Job 20 and 23. Showing up right here. Now, so when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain upon him while he is eating. So just when these devils think that they're about to fulfill their plans and put into action and do everything that they wanted to do, Yahweh Shemashai is going to cut it short. So I keep going to how the Lord has set bounds that he cannot pass. So just when you're about to fulfill your plans and put into action, Yahweh Shemashai is going to strike you down, man. Just when you least expect it. Because when people are eating, they're pretty much, for lack of a better word, relaxed and not really worrying about anything but eating the food they got right in front of them. But it's dealing with Esau, Edom, trying to put his plans into action and thinking he's about to get the ball rolling. Thinking he's about to implement this whole NWO and there's going to be no consequences to that. But Yahweh Shemashai got something for you once again. But pretty much made point already. Sorry if I kind of rambled a little bit in certain points, but Lord's will tight points scriptures by building once again, and you were edified throughout the whole thing. But I do want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Shemashai, by Hashem Kadash, that born to the apostles and Elder Great Millstone for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings to the hopeful elect of the Shalom. See you next one, Lord willing.